The Longfellow Trophy. This one definitely requires practice and more than a few attempts to get, especially if RNG is not in our favor. Fortunately, you guys have this video as a guide. Yay! So we'll do the usual. Setup, strategy, then gameplay. All without DLC, because that's what I do. This trophy is soloable, whether with or without bots, but I definitely recommend bots because we'll need someone to protect us when we're emptying the vault and converts just won't cut it. Since this trophy is more of a speedrun nature, light builds are recommended for all the running around, grabbing crowbars and whatnot. That brings us to perk decks. Some will think of using a suit build with rope for the maximum dodge and speed, but for lower difficulties like overkill, which we will be playing on, having some armor will generally do better. And the best combination of speed and armor will be the heavy ballistic vest. Crook and Hitman are both good choices, but I'll lean more towards Hitman because of the ability to recover armor even under suppression. That will help a lot when we drive the warheads around, especially under continuous fire from SWAT turrets, of which Crook will only survive under a lot of luck. Crew Chief is also a good support pick if playing in multiplayer, for the stamina, health and armor bonuses. Just be sure to grab some hostages. And if going solo, definitely play in CrimeNet offline as our armor recovers faster there. For skills, the controller subtree in Mastermind is good. Converts will help to tank and distract some enemies, while the partners in crime skill will grant us bonus health and speed. And then finally, Hostage Taker will help to regenerate some health loss from the constant hail of bullets. For dealing with the SWAT turrets, some of you may prefer bringing explosive weapons, but I personally prefer ECMs. First, we're not doing a full out build, so we definitely have spare points for upgraded ECMs. And ECMs will convert all the SWAT turrets at once, which will help to shoot those pesky enemies sitting on top of the containers, while explosive weapons will only deal with one turret at a time. 2 ECMs will also be enough to cover all the vehicles for a one-way trip to the final train car. Okay, so for different objectives, we have different approaches. This time, we're trying to do a speed run, so our priority would be to get the vault open as soon as possible, and then the minimum amount of bags required, which are the 8 warheads, to the train car as fast as possible. So first, the vault container. The vault container can spawn either in the container yard on the outside or in the warehouse. Either way is doable, though it has a higher chance, 70% to be exact, to spawn in the warehouse. Plus, it helps that the crowbars are all there as well, so the less complicated way would be to check for the vault container in the warehouse and then do a quick restart if it isn't there. The next priority would be to overload the vault container with all 3 crowbars as soon as possible. Why is that? Because of how the vault container works. It has a hidden counter from 0 to 500, and the value increase per interval depends on the number of crowbars inserted. So for 1, 2 or 3 crowbars inserted, the value increase per interval would be 1, 3 or 8. Thus, from this, it is in our best interest to jam all 3 crowbars as soon as possible. Naturally, that leads us to our next part, the crowbars. There are a total of 22 crowbar locations, 18 scattered around the first and second floor of the warehouse, while 4 of them are in the loot cages. And on the overkill difficulty, there will be 3 in the warehouse and 1 in a cage. On the overkill difficulty as well, there will be 1 keycard in 4 possible locations. The office below, the office on top, the locker room, and the pantry, which can be used to instantly open the cage. Alternatively, we can ignore the keycard and bring along a saw. I won't bore you with the possible locations for the crowbars and keycard now, so check out the end of the video for clips of all the locations. Some memorization is definitely required here, and that I can't help with. What I usually do though is to follow a set route, both opening containers and to check for crowbars. You see that in my gameplays. And after we have the vault opened, it's time to move bags. I'm going to talk about solo first, since that is slightly more complicated. Getting the 8 bags to the final train car or escape point can be done in a single trip, with either the forklift or the car through stacking. The car is much faster, though trickier because we need to balance the bags, while the forklift is basically slow and steady. I can't tell you which would be better or easier, so try both out. Either way, we'll first have to bring all 8 bags away from the vault to the container yard exit. That's where we will do our first stacking, by standing in front of the forklift so that when we throw any extra bags, it will land and balance nicely on the 2 metallic prongs. Then we drive and switch to the car or go all the way on the forklift. Let's do the car first. With a stacked forklift nearby, we'll transfer 4 warheads to the trunk while stacking the other 4 on the car hood. I like to aim at the front passenger seat so the bags kind of gets wedged into the car. When driving the stacked car, we should avoid hard braking and instead slow down by letting go of the gas. To turn, we can do a lot of tapping at higher speeds or simply slowing down and turn. That way the bags should stay on the hood of the car. Of course, I'm not an expert at driving the Longfellow, so just experiment on your own for the best results. Ah, the bags are blocking me, I can't see. Don't panic. Just switch to another view via right click. That's much better, isn't it? Now we can continue on our merry way to the train car. And then taking it slow, the forklift. One important thing to note is that with a stacked forklift, we have to reverse out of the compound due to the weight of the extra bags. And then after that, we'll need to take a shortcut. So instead of stopping by to unload onto the Longfellow, we'll drive all the way until we reach the first SWAT turret. Instead of turning left, we'll go on straight through the warehouse. And don't worry if a SWAT turret is blocking us. There is a space on the left small enough for us to squeeze through. From here, immediately outside the warehouse, the shortcut is to the right. Drive through the bollards, turn left, and we'll arrive at another SWAT turret spot. Cut through the train depot on the right and we can head all the way to the final train car. For multiplayer, we have more options and can choose to mix and match with the vehicles. Just be sure to agree beforehand on which method to use. The only thing to note here is that if we choose to stack, the physics of the bags may not sync up properly. For example, from another player's point of view, all the bags are stacked nicely on the forklift while they drive off. However, due to the physics syncing mentioned, bags can sometimes fall off from another player's point of view. And if that desynced bag is then picked up, it will go to wherever it was picked up from. In this case, it's still on the forklift for the driving player, and then goes onto their bag. So don't pick up bags on the floor unnecessarily if stacking. Just ask the player if any bag has fallen off or trust that they have it all under control. Otherwise, without stacking, we can have 2 forklifts and the Longfellow or just 3 forklifts to handle all 8 warheads. One last minor tip to save a bit of time is to park the vehicle as close as possible to the loot point so that we can grab the bag from inside the train car and secure it in one action. Last part before we end the video is a few benchmarks to help guide your progress. These are based on my own solo experiences. We want to have all 3 crowbars inserted by 1:30 game time to 1:45 game time. Then the vault should be open by 3 minutes to 3:15 game time. We should reach the 90 degrees bend or the first corner after the container yard with all the bags by 4:45 or 5 minutes game time. Lastly, of course, to reach the train with all bags by 6:30 game time. And that's all. So hopefully these tips and strategy will help to get this annoying trophy. Some clips will be coming up as usual. First, all the crowbar and keycard locations. Then 2 gameplays, one with the inside container and another with the outside container. Enjoy watching them, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Alright, safety's off. Get down there. Against the vault is gonna be in a murky shipping container. Get opening them.
He's down! Cops on!
I can almost smell the magic. The magic in
This vault's got an Achilles heel. It's temperature controlled. Jam the vent fans in the back with crowbars. The temperature rises, and the failsafe opens the door. Easy. Great. Look at that temperature climb. Must be something hotter than hell in there. That's the last fan. Man, look at that temperature climb. I got a bad feeling about this.
How'd you like that, you fucker?
Good luck, everybody.
Those are kills! Hey, motherfucker! Pousse-le là! Leave! Pousse-toi le cap! You can't, man.
Vault doors open. Get in and grab the loot. Okay. So we're boosting nuclear warheads. Guys, be very, very gentle with those things. Are you nuts, Vlad? These are live nukes.
Keycards, baby. Boy, I'm very far away. Probably won't even use. I have a train waiting for them. It's close by.
Keep shooting!
got yourself a little time. Make the best of it. Hell, guys, they sure intend to treat you the same way. New units are rolling in.
Tell me if you're feeling sick, or if hair fell out, or balls fall off.
There.
That's
Careful
first.
here.
Such a small thing, but enough to wipe out Washington.
Careful here.
Good. Keep bringing them. Be gentle with my little babushkas.
That's the last one. Now you can get right. Get at it.
Yeah, the boat. Good. Хорошо. Очень хорошо. This is very, very good.
You're gonna get murdered. Just
These phones have one weakness. A failsafe will open the door if the temperature inside gets too high. Look around for crowbars in the warehouse and jam them into the rear fans.
shit, these are the guys I'm looking for. Situation is we need bodies on now.
Last fan disabled. Temperature is off the hook. The contents must be scorching.
Taking these telling me we need something. Kills these guys? This has to be that robbery. Put him up! Pass where I can see him. Drop your gun. On your knees. That's all. Pass where I can see him. Drop your gun. On your knees. Bracelets.
Be ready for anything.
HRT.
It's a taser.
Kill the man. I got the dozer.
Vault's open. Grab whatever's inside, gang. Is that a nuclear warhead? I don't... just grab it. Carefully. Are you nuts, Vlad? These are live nukes.
Don't cry, babe. You'll fine. Fire base big for them. They're very far away. Now bring them to the train yard. You'll be far away before they know it.
Time to go home.
Those forklifts will be useful for moving the warheads.
Right this way.
The cops are retreating!
Kick ass, fellas. I don't mean to holler at you, but you did great back there.
Over there.
Tell me if you feel sick. Or his hair fell out. Or balls fell off.
Check your 6. Tougher swats are rolling in.
That's first. Such a small thing, but enough to wipe out Washington.
Careful here.
Be careful with them. No intention to turn Washington into molten glass.
Careful here.
Not today. Good. Keep bringing them. Be gentle with my little babushkas.
That's it. Now we can get the hell out of there. Or head back and snag...
Great job, my friend. Again, you have served me well. Don't worry about the nukes. Enjoy your money.